Hello class, so we meet again. Now today I'm going to greet you with this bunch. Can you see that? Aren't they pretty? So now just by looking at them you can understand what can be our topic today. What are we going to learn today in bio? Flower. Right? So we have finished the chapter of leaf. So our second lesson of bio class will be the flower. Now, which part of the plant is called the flower? All of you have seen flower. So many different types of flower. They are so different in the color, in the structure, the variety, the formation, in everything. But there are some basic structures are there which are common for all the flowers. So we are going to learn about the different parts of the flower today. Now, which part of the plant is called the flower? Where is it formed? Have you noticed that flowers are always seen at which part of the plant? At the tip. At the tip of the main stem, at the tip of the branches, the flowers are seen, and they are grown from the flowering buds. You have learnt about axillary bud in leaf, you remember? So at the tip of the branches or tip of the stem, the buds which are present, some of them, they produce the flowers, and they are called the flowering buds. Flower is very essential for a plant. Why? Because from the flowers only, through certain processes, fruits and seeds are formed, and those seeds will give rise to another generation of new plants. So they are helping the plants to carry on their life cycle. So they are called the reproductive part of the plant. So flowers are the reproductive part of the plant. You have studied about root, stem in lower classes, leaf, the previous chapter. They are called the vegetative parts. But this is because it helps in reproduction. Its function is reproduction, carry out reproduction and formation of seeds. That's why it's called the reproductive part of the plant. And also, you know, they make everything so beautiful. All around ourselves, we have seen in the garden, flowers, they make the surroundings also beautiful. That's another part. So let's take the flower. But before that, you have seen, I'll show you two things here. Two branches are here. Can you see that? Now this is a branch. You can see this branch, a single flower. On this branch, you can see only one flower is there. But you see this branch, you can see this branch on which many are there. Can you see that? Many flowers are there. Even here, I can show you that though some of the petals are fallen, but still you can see this is the branch on which there was one flower here, there was one flower here, one here, and another bud is here. So when many flowers are born on a same branch, it is called inflorescence. Inflorescence. What is it? Inflorescence? Many flowers on same stalk. Many flowers on same stalk, that's called the inflorescence. Okay, so let's start now. One flower, let's take one flower. I'll take this one because it's big, you will be able to see this flower also easily. Now, this is, you can see on the main stem there is a stalk. Can you see? The flower has got a stalk here, this branch. This is the stalk of the flower. The stalk of the flower is called pedicel. This is the stalk of the flower, which is called pedicel. Now can you see the tip of the pedicel here, slightly flattened? This is the pedicel, but you can see the tip here is slightly flattened. This flattened surface, you can see it here, this swollen, this flattened surface, it makes a base for all the parts of the flower to be formed. So the tip of this pedicel, this which is slightly flattened here and which makes the surface for all the other parts to be formed, this is called thalamus. So this is the pedicel and this is the thalamus. Now we take the first part of a flower. A flower has got all the flowers. They have got mostly all the flowers. We'll come to the point later on again. They have 4 whorls. That means what do you mean by 4 whorls? 4 circles. You can see the green one here, then this red one here, then you can see one here, you can see one here. I will take each one separately and show you. So this outermost, the first whorl of the flower, the outermost whorl of the flower, as you can see, this is called calyx. Calyx, I'll draw it here, you see. Now, I've written here sepal. Now, calyx, I'll open one and show it to you. Very carefully, if you get one flower, you can dissect it. You can take one flower and see all the parts, each one at a time, separate and say, see this one. Can you do this one? This is the outermost whorl. In a circle, it was present like this in a circle, but I've cut it open and I've separated it from the flower. This whole thing is called calyx. But you can see this is made out of individual 5 leaf-like structures. Can you see these individual 5 leaf-like structures? Each one is called a petal. Sorry, each one is called a sepal. I've written it for you there already. Each one is called a sepal. So this calyx, the whole whorl calyx, is made out of sepals. Now you can see here the sepals are united, joined together. It may be united, but if you see the rose flower, you may see in the rose flower, it's too tiny, you can't see it here. But in the rose flower, you can see, because it's a very common flower, each one is separate. So that is 2 conditions are there. They will be either gamosepalous or polysepalous. What is the condition? Gamosepalous, I'll draw it for you, I see it. You will be able to see it clearly. This is the calyx, each one is a sepal and the condition is gamosepalous. If it was polysepalous, then each one will be separate. Like this. Clear? So what is the first whorl called? Calyx. Okay. Now let's take the second one. These brightly colored structures, all of you know. What are they called? Yes, they are called petals. Now, but you can see in a circle, the whole whorl, this is the second whorl. Outer one was the calyx. Now, this is the second whorl. This whorl is called the corolla. I'm drawing the section of the flower. So, this is the individual part of the corolla and each one is called the petal. So you can see this each one is a petal, but all the petals together make this second whorl. You can see it from outside also. The second whorl, this is called the corolla. Same condition again for petals also. They can be, I'll just write it for you. They can be gamo or polypetalous. Gamo means together, joined, and poly means separated. Okay, so let's peel out this second whorl. So you can see these are the petals. Now one thing you learn here, that those flowers which give out the sweet smell, the nectar, which produce nectar, there's a small gland, it is not here, but normally at the base of the petal, the nectary gland is here. So the flowers which are producing the nectar will be produced at the base of the petals from certain structure, the nectary gland. And the insects or the birds, they come, they dip their beak into that, and they suck the nectar from here. Now the next whorl is the whorl which is called the androecium. Now children, you have to learn all the spellings. I'm writing on the board. Be very careful when you take down the spellings. You write it down and you will learn them properly. Now this is a little tricky. You have to cut it out very carefully. Take it out like that. And the inner part is already there. So there's another whorl inside this. That's why it has to be very carefully taken out. You can see I'm taking it out. You can see from outside I've taken this one, and inside there's another whorl. I'm talking about now this third whorl from outside. I'll show it to you. This is the third whorl. Now in the hibiscus flower, this has got little bit of modifications in the sense that normally they don't have this together united. In this it is specially, but I've brought this flower for you to see it very clearly. See this one, you can see it very clearly. Can you see the yellow heads and the white little filament? Can you see this yellow white stalk and this yellow head? This is the third whorl. I'll separate out from here, leaving the center whorl, because I said there are 4 whorls. So I'm taking out the third whorl from the flower. This is the third whorl. This one. You can see this is the whole whorl, but individual structure is this one. Can you see that? So this whorl is called third whorl. This is the first one. Then this is the second one, corolla, made out of petals, whether gamo or poly. Now this third whorl, to make it very clear, I've only drawn 2. Now the third whorl is called androecium. Third whorl is called Androe. This is, you have to learn, androecium. C-I-U-M. Androecium. This is the third whorl. And it is the whorl, but it is made out of stamens. Now each one is one stamen. Many stamens I showed you. This is each one. See this one. This is one stamen. Can you see little bit of yellow tip? Can you see little bit of yellow tip here? And this is white stalk here. Can you see that? This is one stamen, and many stamens together make this whorl androecium. And what is this stamen made out of? I've drawn it here. Anther. This head-like structure is called anther, and this long stalk which will uphold the anther, that is called the filament. That is called the filament. Anther and filament. Anther and filament together make the stamen. Stamens together will make the androecium. This is called the male reproductive part of the flower. Why? Because inside the anther they produce tiny particles that is called the pollen grain. If you see the hibiscus, the China rose, you must have noticed that this yellow head, when you see this yellow head, if you touch them, you will get the powdery thing in your finger. So these are the pollen grains and they are needed for the reproduction purpose. So this is the male reproductive part of the flower. Now we come to the innermost part. The fourth whorl, I said earlier that they have got 4 whorls. Fourth whorl is this is one part. This is one part, and at the base here, like this. So stamens are anther and filament. I've already labeled here anther and filament. Now we'll take this innermost whorl. The innermost whorl is called gynoecium. What is it called? It's called, I'll rub it this part for you. This is called the gynoecium. The third whorl, the male whorl, is called androecium, and the fourth or the innermost whorl, it is called, again this O is spelling carefully, gynoecium. It is made out of either carpel or pistil. It can be one or it can be more than one also. This is the carpel or pistil. This one, I've kept this one for you. This is the innermost one. Very thin, very carefully you have to do, otherwise it tears off very easily. You can see how thin it is. See, this is the one. And at the base you can see, I'll show you. The ovary here. The ovary is at the base. So each one is called the gynoecium, has got 3 parts. What are the 3 parts? This one, head, it's called stigma. This stalk is called style. And at the base, this swollen structure, this is called the ovary. Stigma, style and ovary. How do we draw it here, gynoecium? This is your stigma, this is the style, and this is the ovary. Stigma, style and ovary. This is anther and this is filament. The label is already there. Now, so this is all the terms you have to learn very carefully. Now, what is the flower? Which part of the plant is the flower? The reproductive part, because the function is reproduction. A flower, when it is formed on one stalk, it's a single flower, and it is the inflorescence when many flowers are together on the same stalk. And the 4 parts are: outermost one calyx, second one corolla, third one androecium, and fourth one gynoecium. This is a section, if you cut it, this is the stalk pedicel. This one, the flattened part, which makes the base, that is called thalamus. Outermost wall calyx is made out of sepals. Corolla is made out of petals. The 2 petals I've shown you here. Third wall androecium is made out of stamens. Each stamen is made out of anther and filament. And the innermost wall gynoecium is made out of pistil or carpel. The whole thing single is called the pistil or carpel, made out of stigma, style and ovary. For today, learn the spellings and the diagram. We'll continue with it next day.